Page 7 allows us to analyze vowels. It is optional, but you may want to complete it if you've determined that you want to take a closer look at the child's vowel system and syllable timing, as well as develop specific vowel targets for intervention. We're examining Craig's vowels as an example. His vowel match was relatively low, with only 56% match.
I have heard that clinicians tend to target consonants more than vowels. Is there somewhere I can find out more information about when vowel intervention may be needed?
See Chapter 9 of Bernhardt and Stemberger 2000 for more information on this. It is also available on the website, and you will also find expected developmental trends for vowels. So, where do we start?
Begin at Section A to record a full inventory of all the vowels used by the client throughout the sample, whether they were a match or not.
Where do we keep track of vowels that were not a match?
Both in the vowel inventory needs in the right-hand columns and down in Section B, where it says mismatch patterns by feature. Here the vowels are divided into groups based on their like features. You only record the mismatched vowel in the row for which the feature of the non-target vowel differs. Let's do an example. If a child produced instead of in an unstressed context, where would you record this?
I like to begin by identifying all the rows in which the mismatched vowel can be found, in this case, Looking at the chart, I see that is plus back, minus high and minus low, and minus tense. So would I write to in all three rows under the stressed column?
Almost, since both and are minus high and minus low, and minus tense, those features haven't changed. So for to turn into it simply is fronted. In other words, it no longer has the feature plus back. Since dorsal plus back is the only feature that has been affected, you would record turns into in the dorsal row. This helps you to learn what the child can do as well as what is still to be learned.
Okay, great. I also see it is separated into stressed and unstressed. This will determine which word structure context the client's productions are most affected in.
Let's do some examples together, continuing on with Craig's data. Begin by only looking at the child's pronunciation. Ignore the adult pronunciation for now. Which vowels does Craig use?
So here you can see the vowels that Craig's used are highlighted green and yellow.
In our sample, stress is marked. Okay. When you get started, you just underline or circle the vowels used by the client. It won't look exactly like what we see on the scan yet. That is, no colors.
Now let's look at which vowels Craig uses and are a match. Let's check the data to see if the ones marked in green are a match. I see the vowels that Craig uses are E in B, A in tamo, in t, oi in noi, and oo in boo. Yep, green light. So after we have the green ones, the remaining vowels can be recorded under specific vowel needs column. Again, no colors at first, just a list. And we see the following vowels listed.
We're getting there. What next?
Now look for vowels in the adult pronunciation that the child did not use and are colored red.
Got it. The scan shows in the unstressed column, I and and we could also add ow to the stressed column. We see they are highlighted in red to indicate that they are missing from the client's inventory.
That's right, and you can highlight these again in the left column, but that is optional. Great, the last step for this part is to find all the vowels that are inconsistent or present but not for adult target. O is an example of present but not for adult target. Craig produces that instead of syllabic L in tamo. For example, is inconsistent as seen in the word mum when the vowel stays the same but changes to A in brush.
Okay, we are done with this section. The left part of this table highlights the vowels that were used, and the right side shows vowels that are inconsistent, a need, or present but not for adult target.
Great job! We've already gone over how to do the next section, but we'll give you another example using Craig's data. I like to start with the first word in the data and look at whether the child's vowel is different than the adult's. If so, you will enter it under mismatched into the chart, again remembering to differentiate between stressed and unstressed context.
The first word in this data set is airplane. The first vowel, is changed to A. This means we have to record it. I found under coronal plus front, dorsal minus high and minus low, and minus tense.
So we record to A in all these rows?
Almost. A is also listed as dorsal minus high minus low, and coronal plus front. So to A will only be recorded under minus tense. The logic being that lax has changed to tense A, all other features remaining the same.
Okay.
It also becomes a diphthong.
So once we've recorded all the mismatches, what do we do with this information?
For one, we now know some vowel strengths and needs. We can use this to determine targets for intervention and use strengths to teach needs. That is, if we decide it is necessary to target vowels at all.
That's right. And keep in mind it's always important to look at the big picture. Some other factors to consider include, is there a pattern to the child's mismatches? Does the child use a default? Individual features versus combinations of features, and general developmental timelines for acquiring vowels.
We're all done with vowels. Now we'll begin to summarize our findings.